Okay, welcome to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
There we go. We actually got it now. Practice does make perfect.
How you doing, G-Money?
Ah, pretty good, pretty good.
I'm distraught, baby. I'm distraught. I have problems. I have issues. I'm mad about what happened last week, and I can't express it. I can't talk about it. I don't want to entangle us in controversy.
Well, I know you have issues. That's one of the reasons we get along. But I couldn't come up with a decent subject to discuss.
Oh, I got all kinds. Racism, joke thieves, all kinds.
Well, I'm glad we're not going to be talking about the issues.
Today's issue. Yeah, no, it's just kind of funny to see. We live in a blue state, right?
Yeah, Democratic.
And so it's to me it's funny to hear the air leave the room through people's buttholes when I tell red jokes, pro-red jokes. I mean, they're all jokes because to me, both sides of our government are garbage, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree
but
with you
when
on
I
that.
tell a red joke in a blue area, the oxygen leaving, and then the quietness makes me laugh, and it's beautiful to me. I don't care what the audience thinks, especially at a tiny venue where I'm just trying out new material.
Right, yeah.
Because when it's an intimate setting like that, most of the time it's really mostly comedians, and so it's for me that's a good litmus test, because if the comedians laugh, then I messed up. But if they don't laugh, then that means that the joke was right, that I told it correctly. And so when I did that Biden is garbage joke that I did last week, and everyone's just like, because they're clapping throughout it until I get to the part where it's like, oh, Biden was the bad guy, and they're just like, ooh. I'm just like, yes, I told that joke properly.
Yeah, but in all fairness, Biden is not the bad guy.
No, he is a bad guy. He's not the bad guy.
Right,
he is
yeah.
a bad guy.
Yeah, it's the bad guys are actually holding the strings that makes him move.
No, the bad guys are we the people, because we allow this to continue.
Well, there is
so
that.
We're
not
bad
the bad guys.
No,
we're
we're
stupid people.
Which makes us bad.
No, we're
because
just stupid.
ignorance is not an excuse in the eyes of the law.
That is true.
And that the first three words in the Constitution of the United States of the corporate of Karens is "we the people."
Yeah, but I still say that.
And that's a big but, because the Constitution was written by 30 affluent white guys that owned slaves, and it said this is for us and our progeny. And if you look up the term progeny in the law dictionary, it means your offspring. It doesn't mean the people of the United States. It just means that they were setting stuff up for them and their continued line of successors, and we allow it to continue.
Well, yeah, but
Wait, did this get political? It started political.
yeah, I don't know. I still say that the we the people are considered the people of the country, but I also believe that we the people should be considered the citizens of the country, not the residents, but the citizens.
Yeah, see, well, that's.
But there again, until you get rid of the Democrats,
see, you don't need
Republicans.
CPR. You don't want to be a citizen, a person, or a resident. You want to be a human being alive on the planet. You don't want to be a citizen.
Well, there you're talking about a world government.
resident.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I'm fine with a world government if it's fair, equal, and works.
Yeah, but
We'll never get that.
right.
Dreamer. You know I'm just a dreamer. Then I put
Good
my
song.
hands on
Good
my
song.
head. Oh, no.
But yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
No, it will not in my lifetime.
Yeah,
Probably not.
The only odds that we have, or the only possibility that we've got, is if everybody actually pulled their heads out of their asses and voted all the Republicans out of office that have been in there for more than one term and did the same to the Democrats,
Yeah.
and then said, okay, now that we got the garbage out, we can train these guys. If they don't do their job in their first term, then they don't get a second term,
Right.
and keep it going.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's going to work.
And like I said, you could be in politics your entire life and make money at it, but you should only be able to do 1 to 2 terms per position, no matter what it is, and no more appointed positions.
Yeah, well, one thing I have to disagree with, but I agree on part of it, is if they were actually doing their job, and then I don't care how long they're actually in there.
Well, see, that's where we differ,
Right,
because I
yeah,
do.
Yeah.
Because if they're doing their job and they're doing good legislation, then they can just pass the baton to the next person.
Well, that would be great too. But I mean, if one of the things that really irritate me about the way the government is acting and has been acting for quite some time is they changed the word that describes their position.
Yeah.
Okay. They are considering themselves, and the media considers them, and a lot of the people refer to them as our leaders.
Right. Not
They're
the public
not,
servants that
they're
they're
supposed to be our representatives,
Yes,
not our
they're
leaders.
supposed to be public servants.
Right.
Not leaders.
Right. And so now if there was a person out there that actually was elected in and was doing their job, representing their constituents, their portion of the country, I wouldn't care as long as they continued to do so honestly and fairly and did what they were told to do by their constituents.
Yeah, that's where we differ, man.
You know,
Because
then
I wouldn't
I
want
wouldn't
that
care.
guy in office more than 2 terms.
Well, that's because he wouldn't be able to actually do that for 2 terms, let alone more than 2 terms. Especially right now.
Yes, sir.
Because one person gets into office going, yeah, I'm going to clean this shit up, and then they get beat down by 499 others.
534.
Well,
But yeah, so I mean, not that we're nitpicking that the number of representatives on this
yeah.
godforsaken North American continent is,
But I figure there's probably a few of them that are not going to be
Because
picking
democracy-
on them as long
is just a sweet way of saying mob rules. And what constitutes a mob? 10 people?
No, 2 or
20
more.
people?
2 or more.
30 people? Because we've got a mob of 535 people telling us what we can and cannot do, and we just keep going on with it. Yeah, okay, they say do it, no, because we, the people, have been conditioned to accept anything they say is the word of God, and we, the people, as long as we allow it, it's going to continue.
That's why I'm saying get rid of all of them.
Get rid of all of them.
And just clean slate.
From AOC up to turtle face McConnell, get rid of all of them.
Yep.
And start over. Yeah. Because if we allow those people to be in place when the new ones come in, they're going to show them the ropes, and we don't want them to show. We don't want the old guard to show the new guard the ropes. We want the old guard to be gone. We want the new guard to come in and look at the Constitution with fresh eyes and redirect themselves. But see, now I am starting to become anti-Constitution.
Yeah, I've noticed that the last 3 times we've talked, you've come off.
The Constitution was written by a bunch of affluent white fucks that have all the money and own all the land, and it's actually set up to success because
they didn't own the land yet.
No, they thought they owned everything.
Well, they thought, but they didn't.
No one
yet.
owns the land. It's whatever, but.
Well, I mean,
but then again, we're trying to get rid of possessions, except for the elite. They want to own everything. But pardon me.
see, when you fill up with gas at both ends, it's got to come
excited.
out somewhere.
I'm excited. But yeah, I mean, because like what's I want to say article. Article's the wrong word. When they make a change to the Constitution. Amendment 13 freed all of the African American slaves. Amendment 14 enslaved everybody that wasn't elite.
Well, I think they ought to do another amendment, though.
Yeah, they should just this amendment nullifies every word written above it.
No.
Easily.
No, because there's a lot of good stuff there.
There's nothing good in the Constitution for you or me.
Well,
Nothing.
That's the part. That's the other amendment that I think we ought to get. Is there should be something that actually frees the white man.
Amendment 27. All laws are applied equally to each individual upon the planet.
There you go. Well,
Equally.
to all citizens of the country. would
No,
be good.
all persons upon this planet.
Except we have no jurisdiction over the other people of the planet.
Then why do they have jurisdiction over me?
They don't.
Thank you. It's like, hey, do you have a CWP? Yeah, it's called I Was Born. What's a CWP? It's a concealed weapons permit, for those of you who don't know. And no, I don't need someone over there to tell me it's okay for me to defend myself or my family or my home from intruders, violence, etc. It's pretty much, it's instinctual to either fight or flee, and I choose violence this morning.
That's like the one of the conversations I've been having with people around here quite a bit here lately, where they're talking about suicide and this kind of stuff. And to me, I still do not understand suicide, but homicide I can get behind.
I
So
support homicide if it's for the right reasons, and I understand suicide because my life has led me to bad decisions, and so I can understand the mindset and what goes on in the head of the person that sees absolutely no alternative.
yeah. No, I agree with that part of it, but to me, I mean, I've made a lot of bad choices. I've gone through,
I made one this morning.
I've gone through a lot. Like I was
we've
on.
talked,
Yeah,
and I think that's what makes our kindership strong, is because we seem to have similarities in our our lifelines.
My life expectancy was any minute now for a long, long time. Like I said last Tuesday, I mean, living to be 60, almost 62 years old now, I mean, that surprised a lot of people, including me. It disappointed quite a few too, but I'm still here, and it's because me and suicide, I just don't get it. I just can't say I quit,
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Take it from someone who's failed 3 times. Apparently, I'm so shitty at life that I can't even get rid of myself. So I just have to keep going.
That's why you don't want me to come in your house.
That's exactly why I don't want you to come in my house.
Yeah, because you can't get rid of the garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm a bit of a pack rat too.
It's the cobwebs in my head that really those little strings. They're still there.
Yeah.
Like every day I have resurgences of those thoughts, and 99 out of 100 days I'm just like, yeah, get the hell out of here. But that 100th day, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, well, you see this? I can actually say that it's very, very seldom that I ever get up and have any kind of thought. Especially until I get my coffee down.
I'm one of those people, man. I'm thinking, and I'm reliving every moment, and I'm not like I'm going to walk out of this recording session and go over every word I said in a horrible way that makes me just go, God, cringe.
Well, don't
cringe.
Take it in.
There's
stride.
there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yeah, you can help
You're
with the
right.
editing.
There is something I can do about
can
it.
help with the
but
editing,
it's
so-
illegal in the eyes of the law, because doing drugs that aren't prescribed by doctors is wrong.
No, you can help with the editing.
No.
and that way there everything stays in.
A happy-go-lucky. Look how happy he is. He's not happy. It's a facade. I paint this face on every damn day, and you know what helps? The alcohol and the coffee.
See, I can take just the coffee and do the same thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you and I are different.
Yeah.
Even though we're the same.
Yeah. Yeah, because I laid off on the booze quite so much, and I never did get into the drugs.
Yeah, see,
Well,
I'm deeply embedded in all of it.
yeah, well, you've seen me on Pure Air. Could you see me stoned?
I've imagined it twice, and it's just like, well, I don't know. That guy talks a lot already.
Yeah, you get me stoned and everything. Heaven only knows what's going to happen at that point. Yeah.
Remember back in the 40s and 50s when they called drinking getting stoned?
Well, I remember in the 60s and 70s they used to.
So, just saying, man.
Yeah, then, until pot really got more prevalent in the mid to later 70s.
Yeah, once it got good in America as opposed to that shit they were getting from... Oh, excuse me.
Then, that's when they started referring to that as being stoned, and they quit referring to the alcohol. But every once in a while, somebody will still refer to the booze as getting stoned.
Oh, yeah, if they're old enough.
Well,
Like,
no.
I'm looking at you, sir. I'm looking at you. Looking at you, sir. See, Alzheimer's.
There's a female country singer that used the same term. She
Reba McEntire.
I don't remember if it was her or Gretchen Wilson, or it was one of the younger ones. But well, compared to me, they're all younger now.
Yeah.
Except Loretta
All
Lynn.
you damn kids.
Except Loretta Lynn. She's still beautiful.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And she's still got a voice.
Dude. She does.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even when I was a kid, I had the hots for that woman. And until Jacqueline Smith came along, I thought there was no woman ever prettier than Loretta Lynn.
Jacqueline Smith, Charlie's Angels, right?
Yeah. She was the
brunette.
pretty one. Yeah. Kate Jackson was the cute one.
Right. And then the blonde one was, okay for the tits.
Well, no, she didn't even have any. What are you talking about? She had hair.
That's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Except for the tits. Sorry, I left out the word accept. Because I don't accept her tits. Was that misogynist? Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, it would be. I mean, if they showed up.
She'd let me touch him and massage him?
Yeah, then they'd be misogynist.
Then be misogynist.
But, yeah. But no, Loretta Lynn, God, she was always just amazing. And then Jacqueline Smith, kind of bumped her out of first place for a while. And she's still hot, too.
Yeah.
I have to admit,
She's
the
got a
women
great
I go
clothing
for.
line.
Yeah, the women I go for.
Are smart.
And they stay
and they do
beautiful for
business.
years and years and years.
And they're good at their business.
Yeah.
So explain your marriage. No. Don't let your wife hear. I'll get killed and cooked.
Well, her business, she's good at it. She's good at working. Mm-hmm. She's good at cleaning. She's good at cooking. In fact, like I told you before, she can cook an elephant's asshole and make you think it's a glazed donut.
Right.
And she's good at husband abuse, so she's dedicated.
Perfect.
Yeah. But she's also cute.
And that helps.
Yeah. So I'll go along.
It's like mine.
But I've only
she's
had
cute and she knows exactly what buttons to push. She's like, God damn it.
Yeah, there's only a few women that I ever really thought was extremely sexy. Loretta Lynn, Bridget Bardot, Annette Funicello. Or no, it wasn't her. Sophia Loren. That's the one.
Ooh.
Okay, and
Aim for the stars. I thought Pamela Anderson was hot until she started getting that work done. Then she just destroyed her body.
I just didn't think she was sexy.
Well, okay. I did. Until
Raquel Welch, though, she was,
Hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom for a minute. Raquel Welch.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but Raquel Welch to this day, in my opinion, is still just behind Jacqueline Smith and Loretta Lynn. And then she comes in a close third. And they're all still really tight. As far as being just classy, beautiful, and talented. Just But,
they're smart. That's what attracts me to them.
And if that offends any of them, please come over here and spank me. Just come over here and knock the crap right out of me.
You can't spank the willing.
Oh, you can.
I've lied.
Yeah.
Now I have to be spanked.
And nothing says I love you like the sting of wet leather.
Ooh. Sorry, I was just living a Dom moment. So yeah. Let's we could lighten the mood by talking about how a bouncy castle killed 5 kids in Australia.
How in the hell did they get killed in a bouncy house? Snake?
No, it apparently there was it was set up next to the seaside, I guess, and so a water spout happened and just tore it out of the ground. But what I didn't know was that this happens quite a bit. Like 11,000 children are injured, and some very severely, and some even killed every year, strictly in bouncy castles.
You'd think that would be one of the safest places. I mean, hell, if it got shot up into the air, they come back down and they bounce.
You would think, but apparently not. Maybe they went out the door. I don't know. And I don't mean to make light of children being killed, but we are in the U.S. and people, shoot up schools, so whatever. But
well, it's not just the U.S.
But
yeah.
It wasn't in the U.S., and what really drew my attention was watching it on USA Today while they had a bouncy castle with kids behind them, and they're smiling about the death of the children in Australia. And I'm just like, man, we are so
Jaded.
so shitty of people
Yeah.
that we laugh at your children dying, but cry about ours and want to take our guns away.
No, in all honesty,
Don't lie to me now.
I'm not. I'm telling
This
the
is
absolute
honest.
truth. In all honesty, in all honesty, if you wanted to talk about who's trying to take your weapons away,
Nobody.
It's not. Has nothing to do with.
Nobody's
I'm so
taking
sorry
mine
that
away.
the kids died. It's because of their own political agenda. It has nothing to do with saving a life.
The thing about, oh, they're taking our guns. They are, but they're not coming door to door yet. But through each incident that is exacerbated by the press, which drives the fear into the average, each new law limits our ability to defend ourselves.
Well, it's,
To an extreme. And people are like, well, you think you can have nuclear weapons? It's like, bro, they used to give us nuclear weapon capability in science kits in the 60s. We could have made our own stuff. So yeah, I'm allowed to have a tank. You know why? Because I pay for the tanks the military has. So do you. So we're allowed to have it. Those are our tanks. Those are our people. Those,
it'd be kind of hard to park it around here.
yeah. Well,
And you can't
my
drive it
garage
on the
isn't
street,
big enough. Well, if you get the treads.
Yeah, if you get the rubber pads.
Yeah. So you can see.
Yeah.
So, but the whole thing is,
But you gotta put
it's
a front-
incremental. It's the long con, and they know that they can't just do it right now because we would actually be like, oh, we need to stand up and defend ourselves.
Okay, well, let's go back and finish that part before you go on to the next, okay?
No,
Because,
I like to ramble and jump.
Yeah, I noticed.
Ramble and jump.
I know.
Ramble and jump.
but you also have to have a front and rear bumper on the tank. You have to have a front and rear license plate in the state of Washington on the tank.
Not if you're diplomatic.
Yeah, and if the barrel is pointed towards the back, you have to have a red flag or a flashing light if it sticks more than 3 feet behind you.
Yeah, but see,
So-
some of those tanks, the barrel doesn't even go past the edge of the vehicle itself, so you're good.
A good portion of them do, though.
Some of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Depends.
But yeah, so but you got
And the back bumper thing. See, I got pulled over with a friend of mine one time. Mike, man, miss that guy. He passed away. That was another suicide. So,
you're not good for people, are you?
well, here's the thing.
If I'm not around much longer, you'll
he
know
and
what
I were
happened.
really good friends until he was 21. Then he moved to Vegas, and I moved to California. And when he was in Vegas, he started drinking, and he jumped a curb in his truck and ran over and killed 3 people and did 12 years in jail. And while he was in jail, he became diabetic. And when he got out of jail, his family rejected him until his mother remarried, and his stepfather tried to connect with him to the point where he was giving him insulin because his stepfather was also diabetic. And one night, Mike decided not to call to let him know that, hey, he was out of insulin because our medical system is so shit that he couldn't afford it. And they found him 2 days later. So, yeah, suicide. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
The world is a shithole, and if we let it keep going, it's never going to get better. And, that's why I don't have kids, because no one cares.
I do.
Well, you got kids, so you have to care.
I don't care about them.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is I got distracted and told a story about my buddy killing himself. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about tanks.
So anyway, he bought a truck from a Ford dealership, and we were riding around in it, and we got pulled over, and the cop pulled us over because she was profiling him. She didn't know I was in the car because he had tinted windows. And so, she pulled him over. Okay, rap music playing real loud. And I thought, and you both need to come out and give me your ID. And I was just like, why do you need my ID? And she's like, well, who owns this truck? And he's like, it's mine. I just bought it. And she's like, well, it doesn't have a back bumper. You can't be driving it around without a back bumper. And he says, I just bought it 2 days ago and drove it off the lot like this. You would think that those jerks on the lot would have told me it was illegal to drive without a bumper. Think of another excuse, please, officer. And she let us go.
Well, in all fairness, okay, I used to have a 70 Olds Cutlass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I got pulled over so many times. It was primer gray. Well, when I bought it, it was blue.
17 colors, yeah.
Yeah, it was blue, red,
so you rattle
gray.
I've done that to 15 cars.
Yeah. So, but I went ahead and I finally primered it all gray to where it was all one color anyway. And but I had headers and cherry bombs on it,
Mm-hmm.
and but the tailpipes didn't come back.
Those are called attention grabbers for those that don't know.
But they didn't come back and out away from, so they just came back and they were like this far
You
before.
didn't get that 12-inch out thing, yeah.
Yeah, and about this far short of going to the back of the
Vehicle, yeah.
front doors, And so I got pulled over by the cops once that said that I needed to extend them back to where they went past the furthest back door, and then they could come out, but they had to come out past the edges. So I went ahead and I put those on there, got it out there. Got pulled over again because my tailpipe wiggled, and so I put an extra hanger on each side to keep it from jiggling so much. And then after I got all that done, now these were state cops that had me do those. Okay. Then I was in Bonnie Lake, and I got pulled over one night. He said that I was too loud. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, 2 days ago I got pulled over by a state trooper on 405. He didn't say it was too loud. He just said that it wiggled and I needed to put hangers on there. Oh, well, I guess if the state trooper says that it's not and doesn't say that it's too loud, then I'll have to let you go. I said, I appreciate it. And he says, okay, well, did you want to sell this? But that's the reason I got pulled over by almost all of them. Was, after the first two where about the pipes coming back past the door and out, after that, every one of them asked me if I wanted to sell the car. I had a crack in the windshield that wasn't in my vision, got pulled over for that. Do you want to sell it? But normally if one cop says that it's okay, then, or if you can tell them, well, hey, it shouldn't have been sent out this way, like, with your buddy's truck, then the cops will go ahead and back off and say, okay, well, at the very least, they'll give you time to fix it.
Yeah, fix-it tickets.
Yeah.
Fuck your fix-it tickets.
Yeah. So most of the time, I would say...
What you're talking about is kind of like there's this guy, May, in town, and he's got this old car museum. He is a real piece of work because he owns the garbage pickup. And so
I was wondering where he got his money.
he acquired his vehicles because I don't know if you've ever really driven around some of these back streets in this particular town that we're in. There's a lot of people that work on cars.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have cars just rusting in their backyard because they've got one in the garage they're working on.
Yeah.
So this LeMay guy, oops, did I say his name? So he would send out his guys with specific instructions. If you see a classic car just rusting away in a yard, let me know. And stop picking up their trash. And he would refuse to pick up trash service as a way to extort people to give them their classic cars. That's how he has so many in that museum.
Well, I have to admit, those are some really nice cars.
They are.
Yeah, I
And,
like.
and since number one, you're paying him to pick up your trash, and number two, you gave him your car, he's got all the money he needs to make them all look so pretty. And then you pay to go look at your car. F. LeMay.
Well, I didn't know anything about that, but I did go
Yeah,
with
you
my.
can Google that shit. It's true.
I went with my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandkids, and we went to the museum
I
down there
never
and
stepped
everything.
foot in it, never will.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was really nice.
What I do need to
I
step
hope you
foot
had a hell of a piss, Arnold.
in. Name the movie.
Don't know it.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, bro.
Oh shit! It's been so many years since I saw that, and then I don't even think I saw it all.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's one of my cult classics.
Yeah, well, there's a few of them that I really like that, but
So,
anyway, so
joke thieves. God, I hate joke thieves, man.
oh, I was hoping to get into the racism part. Not you go down.
Racism.
Yeah,
To me, racism is funny, not the act of it, but the word itself. Because anyone with 1/3 of a brain cell in their head knows that there's the human race, and we come in colors. So if you hate me for being white, or you hate someone for being black, it's colorism. It's not racism. It's colorism.
yeah. And the bad part is, okay, now even with that being said,
The fact that I said I think racism is funny is what made everyone go, ooh.
well, actually, there were a lot of people who laughed about it.
I
too,
know.
you
Yeah,
that shocked me.
I actually got some pretty good laughs with that one.
Yeah. But
But I forgot the orange thing.
yeah, the funny part to me is that the people that say that they hate racism are some of the biggest racers.
Well, yeah. Oh, and that's just in politics. Back to politics. The politicians that screamed against homosexuality the loudest
Yeah, it turns
always
out
ended up
they're gay.
being gay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right. So you hate racism, do you? Okay, thank you. Here's your hood.
Yeah, it's ridiculous though, because and no matter what you do, you know, if you're white like me, okay,
Yeah,
not
I'm not
like
white.
you, but
I'm
like
not
me.
white.
No matter what you do, they're going to try and call you racist about anything.
Well, oh yeah. If
You know.
if something you do doesn't fall into their line, they'll attack you, and eventually their attacks will become, oh, well, you're racist.
Yeah, like I wrote. I think you
Casting
heard. I think you heard it. I wrote that song "Redneck Rapper."
Yes.
Okay. And, you know, it was a joke. You know, my son was really into Tupac, and I couldn't stand him,
Uh-huh.
you know. And so that was a compromise for him and I.
Okay.
Right? And
And I could see because there was levity in it. There was lots.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was great.
The whole idea was it was just a joke,
Yeah.
you know, but it was some way for us to, you know, to communicate and be together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And a lot of people, because I sang it all over the place, I took it, you know, made a
Mm-hmm.
karaoke disc and did it all over the place. You know?
Nice.
And it got good reviews all the way around.
Which it should, because it is an intelligently written song. This guy writes. He's smart. Don't let the looks fool you. He's actually smart.
See this face?
That stupid face has a brain behind it, people.
Yeah, but she's at work.
So anyway,
But anyway,
good
so,
reviews.
Yeah, and, you know, but then I had it on, or well, I still got it, in fact, on YouTube. And somebody called me and said, "You racist pig." And I got to thinking, so I wrote him back, you know, and it was like, well, I didn't know that redneck was a race. You know, because who am I slamming?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying anything about a color for anybody. I
Nope.
didn't even mention the color of the truck.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You know, I didn't mention race of any kind. I mean, I wasn't talking about racing the truck.
No.
You know, nothing. But he told me I was racist.
I don't know what an ism is, but if it goes fast, I'll race it.
Yeah, but you know, but he calls me a racist and everything, and I didn't know that redneck was a race. You know, I thought it was a choice, a
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know,
Like a mullet.
yeah.
That was a conscious choice you made to look like a Karen in male form, Mr. Mullet.
Yeah, I got to thinking about that when mullets came in the '80s and everything, and they were really going.
Uh-huh.
And everywhere you looked, you saw this. You
Oh,
know.
man.
What was it? Billy Ray Cyrus,
Right?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah. But
He was a professional mullet shower.
yeah, everybody that you saw, they all had these mullets and stuff and everything. And I dated 3 girls in the '70s with the same haircut.
I know.
And there was no way
That's
in hell
why
I
I
was going to
said
get one.
Karens, because the first time I saw a mullet was a girl with a interesting new hairstyle. I was like, well, okay, well, whatever. And
Yeah,
the
well-
only reason she liked me is because I had long hair, and I was like, well, I usually don't date girls with shorter hair than me, but I'll give you a chance.
Well, the difference between the actual mullet and the girls that I dated was we called it feathered.
Yeah, the almost Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah,
Almost.
Well, it came,
but
it came down
the
to
girl, I swear, she was a female Billy Ray Cyrus. She had the mullet, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting hairstyle. Because for me, it was the same era as Farrah Fawcett, and I had feathered hair.
Yeah.
But it was down to my butt. And like I said, I thought, hey, I don't date girls with hair shorter than me, but I really, your hairstyles are interesting to me, and that and you being a little tinny, so
yeah.
because I am visually turned on.
Not me.
Yeah,
Okay,
me, it's looks, smarts, and then activities,
Well-
sexual.
When it comes to women, now I'm going to be honest. Okay.
I'm shallow as shit, bro. I'm not gonna be honest.
When it comes to women, as they're walking towards me, the first thing I notice is their walk.
Oh yeah, their swagger. Is
Then
it strong or is it scary, or is it
Do they
timid?
have? Do they
or-
have the sway, or are they walking like you?
Right,
No.
exactly.
Okay. Now the second thing I notice is their tits, because they come into focus
Right, right.
sooner
Yeah, yeah.
with any luck.
Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. This is a blank canvas.
Yeah, but they get there first. So now the next thing I notice is their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then after that, then I notice the rest of it and the actual shape, what they're wearing, the odor, the way they're kept, this kind of stuff. And that's the way I notice them, and that's if there's enough going on, then yeah, I'll get I'm happy. When they leave, the first thing I notice is their walk. The next thing I notice is the shape of the butt. The third thing I notice is their overall shape. And then the last thing I notice is them leaving.
Well, the last thing I notice is that my wallet has gone with them.
Yeah. But mostly the hair and the eyes are what actually catches me. But the rest of it kind of builds up to seeing those.
Yeah, well, I'm shallow as hell. I'm attracted to a pretty visage.
Facade.
I'm attracted to
Or
a beautiful
visage.
girl, but then I will delve deeper and see if she's actually pretty on the inside as well. Because you can be as beautiful as you want, but if you're ugly on the inside, it destroys everything you are.
Yeah.
Because see, I'm ugly, but I'm pretty on the inside.
Yeah, he's pretty ugly on the inside. Pretty was there.
Yeah, hey, you're pretty shitty.
Yeah, just like with me, I'm pretty stupid.
All right,
Yeah.
see,
But no,
but you're blonde, so
yeah.
wait, so am I. Shit!
Well,
Don't look down there.
well, that's got to be the only blonde spot, because you're not bleaching up here.
Oh. Oh.
I don't want to see it.
I'm blind. I'm blind.
Nothing like a big old albino cock on stage. What did he say?
Well, at least you could say big. I wished I could.
Hey, bro.
But anyway, but yeah,
I can handle it. It ain't that big.
but yeah, racism to me is absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
To me, it seems like it's manufactured, but it's perpetuated by the ignorant.
And yeah, and it's also perpetuated by the media and by the government.
Well, they expose us to it, but it's perpetuated by the ignorant.
Yeah, it's like this morning. I was listening to NPR.
Okay.
Right. You call it National Propaganda Radio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. But I actually like it. I don't like
Actually,
it as much
sir,
as
I call
BBC.
it nonsensical propaganda
Okay.
radio.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to be clear.
But I don't like it as much as I do BBC. But because with them you get all around.
Actually, God,
Yeah.
I hate to jump in the middle of your shit, but I've been listening to NPR, BBC, USA News, all that stuff for so long, and I watch how they're all tied together and they're all the same conglomerate, and it just makes me sick.
Yeah. Well.
So anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so, but I was listening to NPR this morning, and if you guys want to sponsor this show, that would be great. By the way.
hey, we'll plug you correctly if you want to sponsor.
Yeah. But we'll still be honest about it, though. However,
That's the part that scares them.
yeah, this is the part they're not going to like. They were talking about that the female cop in Minnesota,
Oh, okay, yeah.
the one that shot
the
guy that didn't have a gun, but the first
So
thing that
shot him in the car, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because he was getting ready to try and flee. Okay,
Right. So
Well,
she thought she was going to taser him.
right. Okay, but the first thing that they said was she was a white cop.
Uh huh. Yeah.
The second thing they said was he was a black man.
Correct.
Okay, it shouldn't matter.
No.
Okay, whether she's white or he's black should never even be mentioned.
Correct.
The only thing that should be mentioned was she shot him
Police
by
officer
mistake.
fatally shoots. Person stopped.
Yeah, pulled over motorist.
Exactly.
Okay,
But that headline doesn't grab clicks.
right, and that's wrong. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, it should have nothing to do with whether they're white or black
Or purple or green or orange.
See, now you're
Orange
using,
is stuck up.
you're stealing my lines. It's always been black, white, purple, or green.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Okay, and the guy needed to be. Okay, she tried to taser him, or she says she tried to
Right.
taser him, and it was a mistake. She grabbed the wrong one.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't know how.
Lies.
But I can't say that it's a lie either because I don't know where her taser is compared to her gun.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
And as long as she's been in service, she should know exactly how her utility belt is set up.
Yeah, well, maybe she was getting laid in the back of her patrol car, and he went speeding by, and she tried to get her pants up, and her belt was crooked.
That could be.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know?
And we see, here's the thing. There's her story and his story, which we will never hear, and the truth. And the truth is a moving target.
Yeah, well,
Because her story is going to have a little truth in it, and his story is going to have a little truth in it, but the exact truth will not be the same coming from both sides.
yeah, but the problem is if you finish that story, okay, from NPR, what they actually said.
Okay.
Okay. From that point, once you get past the taser
Okay.
and you get past the black and white,
All right.
then they say that she shot him while he was preparing or trying to run for it.
I don't know. The video I saw looked like he was pretty much in a position where he couldn't move.
Well, see, her partner was on the other side, and he just put the car in gear, from what I understand, and was getting ready to flee, and that's when she pulled and shot.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if this is the truth, and that's the case, which everybody seems to agree on it, that that's what was going to happen, then she actually probably saved lives and property by stopping him, because
At that point, because a chase can become
deadly
Deadly
and extremely
and dangerous,
dangerous.
yeah.
And her partner, from what I understand, was in a spot where he would have been injured if the car had gotten away or taken off. So
inadvertently her garbage act was actually an act of good, is what you're trying to say.
No, I'm not saying
It's
an
like
act of good
nuking
because
Hiroshima
killing
ended a
anybody
war.
Killing anybody isn't a good thing. Okay.
I disagree.
Wait, yeah,
I
yeah.
disagree.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, my second wife, that would have been a great thing. I mean, I would have baked somebody a cake.
Trump,
Yeah.
great person to kill. Biden, Obama.
Well, you can't kill
Reagan.
one without getting the rest of them.
You got to take them all out.
Yeah. So anyway,
Politics.
but I mean, if I was a cop, and I thought. And I don't care if the guy was my twin, okay? He had blonde hair, blue eyes, fat belly.
Big hood, red scarf.
Yeah, whatever, If he's pulled over and he's getting ready to flee when he shouldn't, then you got to stop him, okay? Period, okay? Because, there might be a school two blocks down that he's going to go racing through and hit a kid.
Here's the counter argument. If you can ascertain that this person is going to flee and you want to stop them from fleeing,
Reach in, grab the key, and put it in park.
shoot their fucking tires.
That doesn't always work, especially with a 38.
You can always I've flattened tires with 22s.
22 is
Now-
not a 38.
now-
22 is a smaller slug and has more
A
penetration.
38 will flatten a tire just
It
as
won't even break
easily
a
as a
windshield.
22. A 38 will She was point blank. She could have just shot the tires, shot the car on its way out. She didn't have to shoot him.
Well, true.
Didn't have to shoot him. Could have ended the chase.
But there again, you're not
a
in the
multi-
exact same
and I'm not there.
situation as
I'm
her.
not in the situation. I don't know the panic in her mind,
Right.
or the lucidity.
Right. Yeah, so...
I cannot sit here. Hindsight is 50-50, 60-40. So I can armchair quarterback this all day and
There
say
you
she
go.
did it
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like I wasn't on the Apollo 13 mission, so I don't know if we've been to the moon or not.
Right. But now, if I was to take your side of it, okay, so I'll be devil's advocate.
Uh-huh.
I used to be able to talk.
Yeah.
On your side this time, okay, against me,
Okay.
all right. If she would have just taken his, she already had his license plate number, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
So she could have just backed off, no
And let
chase.
it happen. Let him go. No
Yeah,
chase.
no chase.
Which
And then-
diffuses his situation.
Then wait till he gets home and pick him up.
Yeah, or
Okay.
wherever. Find the car dumped somewhere. Okay, well that's the start where we track him
but
from.
she has to know where he's going. I mean, did she get his license?
Well, see,
you know-
but on that advocate, the devil's advocate, we don't know car stolen. We don't know why he
Right.
wanted to run. We don't know if he wanted to run. We're going on their words.
Right. So,
So,
but there again,
They
armchair
as,
quarterback.
as they're pulling them over,
Yeah.
they're already punching in that plate. They already know that it's his car or not his car. They already know if it's stolen or not.
yeah,
This-
and they know where he lives.
They know where the car is registered.
Well,
they
yeah.
don't know where he lives.
They know where his car lives.
Yes. So
Yeah. So,
so yes, there's a lot of different ways it could have gone down. And as you say, we weren't there, so we don't know. And we can armchair quarterback this all damn day
Yeah.
and still not come up with the right conclusion because at the end of the day, he's dead.
and she was there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was my point, is that that's the conversations that we just had. No, let me finish, please.
No.
The conversation that we just had made sense, and it was actually viable.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the conversation on the radio, she's white, he's black, doesn't matter.
Right.
In our discussion, we never once went
Skin
for
color should not have any factor in anything. Yet every time you fill out an application, they ask you if you're black, Hispanic, Caucasian, Indian, or other.
Asian. Yeah.
Why you want to know if I'm black on this mortgage? So you can deny me?
No, they only deny
Or so
white
you
people.
can give it to me knowing that I'm going to fail in the payments so you can take the house over.
Yeah, because normally
Oops.
what
mortgage bubble.
I've noticed is that if you're black, Hispanic, then you have about an 80% chance of getting what you are applying for. If you're white,
and
then you got about an 80% chance of not getting anything.
you're correct because, and this is from
Affirmative action.
legitimate experience.
Uh-huh.
I filled out an application to go to art school. Filled out all the forms for the Pell Grants and the loans and everything.
Right.
Denied.
Mm-hmm.
Did it again with a friend of mine's address, and all I did was check the box that I'm black. I got 4 Pell Grants and 7 loans and went to school. So I decided not to pay back the loans. F you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole part.
But the funny part was, I'm in class. It's like 3 or 4 months into the second semester.
Uh-huh.
Teacher's like, Mr. Stevens, can you come up to my desk? I'm like, sure. He says, I don't know if this is a miss thing or whatever. And I was like, oh no, yeah, I don't care. I've been called black before.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I won't press charges.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. But and it's the same with me. Okay, my wife is Chinese, right? One of our daughters is full-blood Chinese.
Okay.
The other one is half Chinese, and another one is just half of her mother, so that's half bitch. Anyway.
See you in hell.
Anyway, but I ended up losing my job, and we needed some help, right? Because I was trying to find another job. My wife hadn't been here long enough, so she couldn't work yet legally or anything like that, and so we needed a little bit of help. So we went down to Department of Social and Health Services, right? And walked in there and everything. That's me and my wife and our 2 daughters, and go in there and everything, and I'm I tell them what was going on, and I did the application. And what we walked out of there with for a family of 4 was $7 in food stamps a month.
Perfect.
And medical for my 2 kids.
So once they're starving to death, you can take them to the hospital.
Yeah. But other than that, no, they wouldn't help us at all. And yet there were like 30 Mexican families in there that couldn't speak English, and you're going to tell me they all had their green cards? I don't think so. And there were several black people in there and everything, and they were all actually getting in to talk to people and stuff like that. We never got past the front desk. So
Welcome to America, sir.
yeah.
Please go home.
Yeah. So no.
Wait, I was born here. Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, it is true that if there's any, if there's a color that is, what's the word? Hold
Preferred?
it. Depressed, suppressed,
Repressed?
suppressed. Yeah, if there's a color of person that is suppressed, it would be the white male.
I doubt it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you and I could probably walk down the street with both my ARs and not have any problem.
Yeah, but but a black person could probably walk down the street at night without the AR and not have a problem.
Depends on the neighborhood. It also depends on where you are. See, it's funny to me, again, racism is funny to me because here in the United States of Karens, we pretend that the white man is the oppressor. But if you go to, say, South Africa, you will find that the black man is the oppressor of the white minorities there, and with just cause. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely justified their hatred for the white. I almost said Americans, the white people that are there because invasion of land and stuff, and then it's
Well, you can say that with pretty much all the
everywhere.
countries. Yeah.
And to pretend that the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution ended slavery is a laughable joke because it did not. All it did was release the black man, black family even, from their suppressors in private and now made the suppression public. You're still slaves. I'm a slave. Unless you are of the 0.01% elite. You're a slave, sorry. Don't mean to break it to you that way, but yeah, here we are.
Well, that's opinion, but anyway.
Don't tell me you're not a slave. You own your house?
No, I know I'm a slave.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's.
And
at
yes,
work.
it is all opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she is at work, so my master will be home soon.
Well, see,
Yeah. But no, we almost own the house. I mean, it's almost paid off.
our house
So-
is paid off, but we don't own it because if we don't pay our land taxes, they'll come take it.
Well, no, but you can take the house. You just can't take the land.
Well, they can tell us to leave, which means they can take our land from us.
Yeah, your land, but not your house.
Yeah, well, no. They'll,
You can
if they-
dismantle
if
the house
they
and take it
me
with
to
you.
Leave. I have no way to dismantle the house,
Well,
and they know this.
You can have it jacked up, put on roller skates.
I have
and
no way to do
all
it,
the
and
way.
they know this, which is why they have us over a barrel, which is why we have to pay these taxes. Even though they took taxes from my check when I earned the money, and then they take taxes from the money I spend every day, they still want more taxes when I put my money in my bank account. Now, I don't know what to tell you. All I
Okay.
know is nothing's changing, and I'm not changing anything by saying things are bad.
Yeah. Well, now you got another topic because if you think about it, okay, you're taxed when you earn the money.
Mm-hmm. And you're taxed when you
You're
spend the money.
you're taxed when you spend the money to buy the house,
And you're taxed when you save the money, and you're taxed when you give that money to someone else.
and then you're taxed every year on the property that your house is on. But it doesn't matter how much the ground itself is worth; it's what the house is worth on top of it. That and it's the same as your car.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're taxed on when you earn the money, you're taxed when you buy the car, you're taxed every year for your tabs in the state of Washington.
And remember, your vote doesn't count because twice now we've voted for $30 tabs here in Washington, and twice now it's been rejected by the government.
Yeah, well, actually, it's passed, and we get $30 tabs.
No, we don't.
Yeah, but it's all the fees that go around it, and the taxes above that for the other shit.
I'll
that
show you
have-
my
that you have
receipt
to
for my
pay.
tabs right
Yeah.
now, and it does not say $30 plus fees. It says $195 plus fees.
Oh, where is the? I got one around here and everything. It actually says $30.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
But it has all the other crap on there and
Mine says
everything. That
$194 plus
Yeah,
fees,
yeah.
not $30.
it sucks. Good.
Yeah, your vote doesn't count. The only vote that counts is the one that they used when they told JFK he couldn't be in office anymore, or Lincoln, our two most open-minded presidents.
Well, I don't know if you would consider them open-minded or aerated.
Lincoln was aerated. Kennedy was open-minded.
My apologies. I shouldn't be so morbid and light about that kind of stuff. But
Death
I
is
am.
funny, man.
As long as it's not mine.
Until it's mine, then I can't laugh at it, no matter what happens.
Well, you never know.
I could die in a funny way, and it'd be great to be able to visually and
You could die laughing.
I probably will.
Well, I already know that when I die, I've already told everybody, and I got to still put it in my will though. I want to.
You don't have a living will?
No, it's a piece
Kind
of
of
paper.
a fool are you?
It's a piece of paper.
Mine's alive.
Uh-huh.
I tattooed it on my dog. But you tattooed your dog? What a bastard. It's my will. Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah, yeah. But when I die, my wife has to hire a comedian, a stand-up comedian, and we have to have party games. And I want the comedian to start telling as many jokes as possible because I want everybody at the wake to be laughing as much as possible. My life was a joke. My death should be a joke too.
Well, I figure when I die, they should probably just prop me up naked in the coffin so everyone can laugh. Yeah.
Now, in fact, I need to talk to your lady about that too. If you die before me, we're going to bury you shallow, with your butt sticking up and use you for a bike rack.
All right. Gonna have to lock through the loins. The combination is butt, nut, nut, penis, penis, nut.
My dad used to tell me that when I died, he was going to bury me face down. So, if the whole zombie apocalypse or the resurrection or whatever came true and everything, I'd spend forever digging my way to China. He wouldn't have to see me again. So I told him that if he ever died and everything, if he died before me, then I would go ahead and bury him face down with his butt sticking up so I could use him for a bike rack. And believe it or not, we actually do care about each other. We like each other most of the time.
I have irreconcilable differences with my entire family.
And I like it that way. Saves me money on Christmas.
Well, my dad's a Jehovah's Witness, so is my mom, so I don't have to
Saves
worry
you
about
money on
Christmas.
Thank you, LDS.
Yeah, so is my wife. So, yeah, holidays are not too bad,
Yeah.
For Christmas, pretty much what we do is just have a nice brunch,
Yeah.
and we have the same brunch every year, depending on how many people come over. I make a egg casserole, or two of them, depending. One is ham and one is sausage. And it's really good. And then we have pastries and fruit and stuff like that. And that's brunch. That's, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then for dinner, we have the turkey and, all the fixings. And so it's kind of like Thanksgiving all over again, But it gives me a chance because we also have ham in the freezer. So if I have enough leftover turkey, because I got a 15-pound turkey out now, right? So if there's enough turkey left over, then I'll thaw out that ham and cook it. And then heaven comes my way because I get to have a Monte Cristo over and over again, homemade, with real ham, real turkey, not the sandwich sliced, deli sliced gunk.
My SO's father is a severe carnivore, so every Christmas she brings me home prime rib without fail.
Yeah. Meat is good.
Meat's delicious.
Yeah. In fact, that's the only reason that you should eat carrots. You should have carrots. You should have potatoes. You should have peas,
Corn,
yeah, something like that, and everything.
asparagus, Brussels sprouts.
Well,
Everything.
Brussels sprouts, yeah,
Everything goes
yeah.
with meat.
Yeah. But the reason that you have to have the vegetables to go with the meat is because you can actually use those vegetables, especially like asparagus and celery, to help get the pieces of meat out from between your teeth.
And broccoli, because that cleans your colon as it's coming out for all the meat you've ingested.
Yeah, see?
Because the average male has about 4 pounds of undigested red meat in his system.
Now, if only we could eat it again.
I know, man. Well, actually, you can. You can eat it one more time.
That would
Just
be
like,
kind of a shitty meal, though.
Yeah, well, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. If you're not ready to eat human flesh and cockroaches, you're not gonna survive the next apocalypse, and it's coming.
Well,
Maybe not today, maybe not in my lifetime, but it's coming.
I can do cockroaches. I mean, they couldn't be that much different than grasshoppers.
I've eaten all kinds of insects. I haven't eaten a cockroach though, just because sometimes they stink. But I've eaten spiders, crickets, centipedes, ants.
Yeah,
all kinds
I've
of
done.
things.
Here's a good story for everybody.
Hey, that reminds me of a dinner I had.
I was working at a lumber company.
Tentacles coming out like that.
I was working at a lumber company down in Grants Pass, Oregon. It was a stick mill, and there was a friend of mine. He was a Native American, I guess you'd call him. We called him an Indian back then. Okay, and he didn't seem to mind because that's the way he referred to himself too. Anyway, but I saw him. He was flipping boards, and I saw him throwing stuff in his mouth. When he was flipping these boards. And so I walked on over to him, and it was a hot day.
Eating some termite grubs.
Well, I went, and so I went back there and everything, and I asked him what he was doing and everything, and he says, "Having lunch." So, what are you eating? He says, "Wood ants."
Yeah.
Really? He says, "Yeah, you ought to try it." I said, "Okay. So how do you do this?" So he goes ahead and he grabs one and he picks it up and everything, and he says, "You pop the head off like that."
So they can't bite you.
Yep. And then you pop it in your mouth, chew it up, swallow.
Yeah.
said, okay, cool. So I grab one, I pop its head off, throw it in my mouth. Didn't do the chewing. I
Just
should have
swallowed
chewed.
it?
Yeah, it's not that much.
No, it's very.
Yeah. So I went ahead and I did, swallowed and everything. And I swear for the next half hour, 45 minutes, I could feel the legs wiggling. Yeah. It was like, oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, I've eaten all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of stuff too, but then, like, I lived outside.
The craziest was Michelle, but
Mine would go for Bonnie. But
Ah, yes. Belmont Bonnie.
well, you said Belmont, mine was Bellevue, but okay.
Well,
Yeah. Either way, Bonnie of the Bell. Yeah. So, no, we I
that
used to
all
live
calm.
outside a lot, and sometimes food was kind of sparse. So,
Food's never sparse if you know where to look.
well, yeah, but I'm at regular, every
A
day.
steak.
Yeah. So I learned to eat a bunch of different stuff. Some of it I shouldn't have. Some of it I saw some pretty weird stuff. Some of it, I swear to God, I was going to puke so hard my underwear was coming out my mouth. But I learned, and I did find out that there were a lot of good things. Like hair moss is really good to eat. It's got that lemony tang, makes a nice garnish.
Right.
You know,
Good on fish.
actually pretty good salad too, especially with wild onions, carrots, berries, and let's see, what was another one? Oh yeah, the potato bugs.
Yeah.
They're actually kindred to shrimp, and you cook them up, and they taste a little bit like shrimp.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't know what they actually are called, but we always called them potato bug when I was a kid.
yeah, we call them that too. Little ones that curl up.
Yeah, a little curl up into a tight little ball.
You grab 10 of them, just go like they're Skittles.
Well, I always cook
little
them.
blue gray Skittles.
Yeah, I was told by Billy that you needed to cook them. So,
Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
well, it don't take long.
If you can't eat it raw,
But grub worms you had to eat live, and that took some getting used to when you bite into them and they're wiggling around. And then you bite into them and it's like biting into a big ball of fat.
Yep.
Squirts.
yep.
And I don't know about you, but every time you bite into them, for some reason they don't squirt forward; they squirt back.
Yeah, up and back.
Yeah, right.
Never that way. You can't. Gotcha.
Yeah,
No.
always right back into the back of the throat. And, So, yeah, that was always fun. Kept you from starving to death, though.
I hate joke thieves.
Okay, back to that one.
Nah. Listen, man, I'd feel better if you remembered that night, but you don't, so it's all right.
Yeah, well, it'll probably happen again, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's happened multiple times already. So.
But I think I told you I was going to tell a joke on stage a while back. I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, somewhere in there. I was going to tell one that wasn't mine. Somebody else had told me because it fit the format of the jokes I was telling.
Yeah.
But I did decide not to. Although it is a funny joke, I don't know who to credit it to other than the girl in Kentucky that told it to me.
Okay.
And so, since I cannot tell it at the bar because it would be somebody else's joke and they probably heard it, I will tell it now to all of you.
Right. Story time with Gary.
Yeah. See, I was living in Kentucky, and there is a bar right next to the Kentucky River between Lexington and Richmond.
Okay.
Okay. It's called the Circle H. So I went into the Circle H, and I saw this really pretty girl sitting all by herself, and they had a live band playing. And so I went ahead and I walked on up to her, and you know how they talk funny in the South, with the y'alls and y'all twos, that kind of thing.
What y'all talking about?
Yeah. So anyway,
That's so precious.
so I went ahead and I went to talk to her and everything. I said, you mind if I join you? And she said, no, go ahead. I said, all right. Well, would you like to dance? She goes, if you want to. All right. So we get out there and we dance, and And I go ahead and I get her on back to the table and buy her a couple of drinks, and everything. And every time I'd ask her, you want to dance? Or you want, if you want to, or something like that. And so, eventually and everything, I said, well, would you like to go back to my place? She says, well, if you want to. I said, all right. So I went ahead and took her back to my place, and we have a few more drinks, and we're talking and having a good old time. And finally, I said, so you want to go back in the bedroom and get to it? And she says, all right. So we go back in the bedroom and everything, and we're kissing and everything. I started undressing her, and as I'm undressing her, I noticed she had a tattoo of a turkey on the inside of one thigh, and on the other thigh, she had a tattoo of Santa Claus. And I said, do you mind if I ask you a question? She goes, no, go ahead. Why do you have a tattoo of a turkey on one thigh and Santa Claus on the other? She says, well, there's some mighty fine eating between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You're right. That is an old joke.
Yeah, but it's a good one. But yeah, she told it to me back then and everything. That was back in '94, I think it was. And
I heard that one in the 70s.
it was good, though. Especially the way she told it.
Were you right there?
No. She was married to somebody else. I was trying to get to know the locals more, because when we first moved there, nobody wanted to talk to any of us that were from here, and we just opened up the plant and everything, and so we get there and everything, and so nobody was really talking to anybody. And so one day, they're all having their nice little conversation with just the locals in the break room. So I go walking in, and everybody shut up. And I was like, what the hell, And I know I heard them laughing earlier, So I go in there, I get my coffee and everything, and I stop and I look around. And, you guys mind if I ask you a question? Okay. So, well, I'm new here, And so I was wondering, in the state of Kentucky, if you get divorced, are you still brother and sister? And there was a couple of, but there was a lot of people that just busted out laughing, And then the ice broke and we all started talking, And so I got along great with everybody, except for maybe the brother and sister. I assumed that they were. Anyway, but after I did that and everything, we all got along fine, And then, eventually they started warming up to other of us. But, but one of the girls that was sitting in the break room that day later on came up and told me that joke. But it was a few days later.
Yeah, that's an old joke, man. I've heard that told many different ways, but it's always something to eat between the holidays.
Yeah, I got a kick out of it. So I'm glad that I didn't tell the joke on stage then.
Yeah, it's because I've heard tell that when you're new, it's okay to tell street jokes, and that's a street joke because it's so old you don't know who to credit it to. But I can't get behind that philosophy.
Well, that's why I didn't do it.
I used to Google all my shit. Oh man, that's just Google. Oh fuck, it's already been used. So I stopped doing that. Just like I used to never listen to the radio, so that I wouldn't. If I write a song, it's not because of something that influenced me. It's because of the shit that's in my head. So that's why I'm not famous.
Well, I can't just stop listening to music. I can't turn off. I like Rubber Chicken Radio, okay? And so I listen to it a lot.
When I was in Poverty's Child, as a hired gun, the vocalist was like, one day on the way home from a gig, I'm listening to the radio, and he's like, fuck, turn that off. I'm like, why? He's like, because I don't want to be culpable if I steal someone's lyrics. I'm like, if you steal someone's lyrics, just fucking admit it. Go ahead and write the song. About 10 years later, I'm just like, turn the music down because I'm tired of having it in my head because I've already got enough going outside of my head. But, different strokes for different folks, different reasons for different seasons. So.
Yeah, but I just can't turn off the music. I just no.
Well, I can't turn off this music, but I can turn off that music.
Uh, yeah, too many good memories with that music. And the music that's up here blends quite well.
Mm.
You know,
Mine's very jaggedly put together.
yeah. Well, you've heard some of mine, so you know they talk about jagged. You know, but I just
You've heard some of mine. Talk about freaks. Oh, someone's home. Now we're in trouble.
oh, that's my daughter. She never left. I'm counting the days.
Year 24, day 85. She's still here.
No, year 18 and 2 minutes. She's gone. Now, I told that to my son. You know, I said, you know, for your 18th birthday, I know exactly what I'm going to get you. He says, what? I said, suitcases to hold your shit. You'll find them on the porch. You know, and he actually believed me. So
I have a friend who's the youngest of like 5 kids, and he was asking his parents what they were going to get him for his graduation from high school, and they're just like, oh, you'll see. And the day he graduated, they didn't come to his graduation. And when they got home, there was a for sale sign in the yard, and they weren't able to get back in the house. Parents bought an RV and left.
yeah, I say, well, I wouldn't do that. But for
I
my
would.
daughter,
I would.
my daughter, yeah, well, you know, I ain't going to sell the house and move, but I will change the locks and her shit'll be on the front porch, you know. Or at least that's the way I'm feeling at this moment. So, but yeah, she is. You can actually find her picture in the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Under nutcase?
No, hemorrhoid.
Hemorrhoid. Ah, clinger. Hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
Why is it when I get this thing in my belly, it's called a hernia, and when a woman gets her reproductive stuff taken out, it's a hysterectomy? Shouldn't this be a hisnia and that be a herterectomy?
You'd wish, yeah.
I don't wish. I'm just asking.
Oh, that's all right.
I have no wishes. I wish to have no wishes.
I'm still trying to figure out why the pain in the ass is referred to as a hemorrhoid instead of a herroid or a kidroid,
Well,
childroid.
we need to start making those delineations. We need to say that's a hermoroid or that's a kidmoroid.
Yeah. Because he ain't the pain in my ass.
Unless you're same sex couple, then he could be the pain in your ass.
Well, yeah. Unless
And that's just they have lubes and
Yeah.
stuff for that.
yeah, I heard that they actually have.
Because I'm not against your lifestyle at all. More power to you if you found love in the right place.
Yeah, because I heard that you could actually get some stuff called Astroglide.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, you can put that on a Great
demon
Dane,
lube, demon lube,
but you can put it on a Great Dane and get him through the cat door.
demon lube. A buddy of mine, we were at the. It used to be called Lovers Package. Now I think it's just called Lovers. But we were looking for fun stuff, and the lady behind the counter was enjoying our company, and she's like, "Well, you should try this," and it's called Demon Lube. And we're just like, "Holy cow!" And she's like, "No, it's really good." And she put some in my hand, and I made a fist, and my buddy jammed his finger into my fist, and it just went right in. I was like, "Oh!" And we both bought some.
Ain't no saying no with this.
No, there isn't. No, no no's.
No, I won't stop it.
No
more.
means yes. Yes means and. Oh, thank you. College kids. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to report today. That I just don't like joke thieves, and I don't like people that want to follow me to your truck calling me a racist.
Like I said,
15 years ago, we'd be holding on to his teeth right now, going, "That guy was an idiot."
yeah, well,
Today, I don't want to go to jail for someone else's stupidity.
yeah. Too many people are calling too many people racist when
Well, it's a
just
go-to
dis-
catchphrase.
Yeah, It's just
I don't like
personal.
what you said. You're racist.
Yeah, it's a personal difference. It ain't got nothing to do with racism.
No,
Or colorism even.
it's colorism. It's not. It's not racism.
Yeah, but even colorism, that what was going on that night had nothing to do with it.
It's just deep ignorance.
It was just a difference in opinion. So it's just like the guy with redneck rapper. I mean, it had nothing to do with race. It was or color. It was just his opinion.
Yeah.
Which of course was stupid.
Since you weren't regurgitating his opinion to him, he was mad at you for it.
Well, that's all right. He'll learn to swallow.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't, he'll drown, and hopefully he drowns. Sorry. Not sorry.
Top. Anyway, that's all the bad time we've got for you.
Woo-hoo! We made it through another day.
Yeah, but remember, if you have any suggestions of what you would like us to discuss, because we will actually get into detail.
Gary at Rubber Chicken Radio. Veg at Rubber Chicken Radio.
Or suggestions
at Rubber Chicken Radio.
There you go.
Kick them in. Throw them down. We'll listen. We're not afraid of you because you're on the other side of my keyboard.
And if you guys actually start participating,
we're keyboard warriors.
If you actually participate in this way, also any emails that come through suggestions at rubberchickenradio.com will enter you into a drawing for Rubber Chicken Radio merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
And
everyone wants a Rubber Chicken coffee cup, Rubber Chicken hoodie. Come on now.
Sweatshirts like this,
Yeah.
T-shirts,
Do
coffee
it. Don't be
cups.
afraid. We're good stuff. We're
Coffee
good
cups,
people. We may talk a lot of crap, but we're still good people.
Yeah.
And I think you might be too.
And also, if you guys do email us in and become active into the show, we will go ahead and see about actually setting up an exact time to where we can start doing this live like we were originally planning.
And we'll put a little hat on Shinzo here with your name on it.
No, but we might put barbecue sauce on it. Anyway, thank you all very
You'll be
much.
the first dog I
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
For another exciting episode. And
might be joking.
right? So, thanks a lot.